everybody, this is Ilana Michelson from ilanamichelson.com, optiontoheal.com, and today I'm in a beautiful park here in Rehovot where my hometown is. When I don't go someplace else, I go for a walk someplace in Rehovot, and this is one place I go for a walk. So today I'd like to talk to you about change, awareness, what we can change, what we can't change. So I've been listening to this book by Harrison Klein, which is a really interesting book, and he's talking about super awareness. And what he says is that the only thing that we can change, or one of the things that help us really change, is having awareness of something. Now, hi there, Sam. The truth of the matter is that if we're not aware of something, we obviously can't change it because we don't even know that it exists. So being aware of a problem is like one of the first things, important things you need to have in order to create change. Now, within situations, we can't actually always change what happens. But the two things that I'm going to focus on that we can change is our perception of the thing and our reaction to the thing. Now, what do I mean by our perception of the thing? Basically, if we take an example of two workers who are working in a job and the boss walks out and starts yelling and screaming, and one of the workers say, "Oh no, I'm going to get fired," and runs off and starts eating or smoking or something else, and the other worker says, he probably had a fight with his wife and he's in a bad mood. All right? Two different perceptions of the same exact thing that happened. You'll find the same thing inside a household when you have two people who are in the house, two children, let's say, and an adult, and the adult says something, or when the children said something, and the adult will perceive it differently, and the child will perceive it differently. I know that in my household, I have that all the time between me and the 5 children that are home, actually 4 children that are home. So I'm constantly having to try, not changing perceptions, but showing people what other perceptions can be so that they can see things differently. Now, the second thing that we can do is how we react to the thing. We can change that as well. Now, that takes a little bit more, both of those things take a little bit of work on how to change it. So when we do processes like tapping or like spinning or like dialing or meditation or any of the other processes that I use in my practice with people, what I'm actually doing is changing the perception. And once you change the perception of the person, the reaction will automatically change. Now let's take this one step further and look at it in terms of couple therapy. I don't know if I ever told you, but I think I did. I had a client once who came in, she's a good friend of mine also. She came into the house and she was fuming mad at her husband, fuming mad, and I couldn't calm her down. So I said, "Stop, right there. Where do you feel it?" And she pointed to her stomach, and I said, "All right, pull it out. Notice the color, notice the spin, make it be the opposite." And I did it for really well, and then we slammed it right back into her body. And when she finished processing, she looks at me and she goes, "Oh my goodness, he was right. I was wrong. What do I do now?" So basically, doing that simple, took maybe 2 minutes to process, and I totally changed her perception. And by changing her perception, I also changed her reaction of how she was going to react to it. Because now, instead of being fuming mad at her husband, she was trying to think of how she can make it up to her husband, how she can talk to him, how she can let him know that she was wrong and he was right, without actually shaming herself too much, because it's not so pleasant to shame yourself too much, even if it's your husband and you know that you were wrong. So when I do couple therapy, and by the way, I am starting my first couple boot camp next week, so I'm really excited because I've worked with couples beforehand, but I've created a program of a boot camp, which I think is going to be really exciting and really successful. I'll let you know how it goes. In any case, when I work with people, basically, as people get triggered by their spouses, I want them to have the awareness, number one, that things might not be the way that they think they are. I want to be able to change their perception. And when they change their perception, they also change their reaction. And when you're doing it with both members of the couple at the same time or separately, you change the whole interaction, and almost always it's for the better. Almost always, because people get very stuck in their own thing, and the more you try to convince them, the more they dig in and say, "No, I'm right and you're wrong," and there's no right or wrong over here. You know that I hate the blame game. There's nobody to blame over here. We just want to find out how we can make things better, how we can make things be so that everyone's happy in the relationship. Right or wrong, doesn't make a difference. So if you recall, I once mentioned that when people get into a fight in any relationship, but especially within a marriage relationship or a partnership relationship, Basically, people go into their own trances and they turn into the younger selves that underwent the same type of trigger, and they react as their younger selves. When I can stop that trans and then I can let them see what the trans is and change it within them, almost always 100%, both members of the couple say, it didn't really matter, doesn't really make a difference, I'm good with it now, I'm fine. And it's pretty amazing to see that, because beforehand they were both fuming mad and couldn't wait to get out what they had to say, which is usually something that would be bad for the other person, saying something that would hurt the other person. And when you can stop all those hurtful words and change into loving words, you change the whole manner of the relationship into a much better one. And then you can rekindle the passion, and you can have the relationship that you really want, that everybody wants, the close, connected relationship with the passion that, you know, the connection that you want with other people. Anyway, if you haven't given me a like down below, do it now. I love getting a heart, makes me feel nice and warm inside. If you're watching this on YouTube, aside from giving me the like, also press the subscribe button and the bell notifications so that you'll be notified when there's a new video coming out, or you won't be notified. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. Please write down below. If I don't know the questions, I can't answer them. I can only come up with my own stuff, and I'd love to help you guys more, because that's what I'm here for, to help you guys. And other than that, have a great morning, have a great evening, have a great day, wherever you are in this great, big, wide world. Remember, everything's always going your way, everything's always going my way, everything's always going everybody's way. Have a great day from YolondaMichelson.com.